Just do it or nah. Listen, you don't just do it. And I know we see all these Nike signs saying, just do it, right? And we hear these motivational quotes like, chase your dreams. But let me ask you this. How much time would you waste chasing a dream if you knew that you were missing just one step to get there? You know, if God was in your ear, like, or he's in the background, like, you're just missing one step, daughter. Or you're just missing one step, my son. But instead of waiting for that revelation, oh no, people are out here just talking about, just do it. YOLO, right? But let's put that into perspective with the superhero analogy. So, the superhero analogy, imagine Bob at work, right? Bob just finished watching an inspirational YouTube video, right? And now he's standing on top of his corporate building yelling, I believe I can fly. Or maybe he just seen his latest TikTok video, right? Or he's on the top of the roof yelling, I'm Superman, y'all. And some of y'all are like, no, you're looking like Super Negro. Now, think about it this way. Almost every superhero started off looking like a regular Joe Schmo, right? But the moment that they stepped into that closet, the moment that they stepped into that secret place, they became what they already knew that they were. They saw the problem and they said, I am the solution. They ran into the phone booth real quick, be right back, right? Boom. Came out suited up, booted up, and ready to literally serve their purpose. My question to you is, why don't you believe that what you see in them is what's already inside of you? See, because some of y'all look like y'all put your shoes on first before you put on your suit, right? And it's just backwards is what I'm trying to say. But let's be real, because I am. If a superhero just ran out there, no suit, no preparation, no strategy, just trying to fight crime, right? Spider-Man, I believe his real name was Clark, but if Clark did that, Clark is gonna get clocked in the head real quick. Like, I think that was his real name. Just roll with me for a second. But just imagine Superman trying to swing from building to building without his web shooters, right? Like, we would be like, Spidey, what are you doing? Where are your shooters? Like, you can't jump from building to building without your web shooters. And it's the same with you. If you step out unprepared, the world is literally going to knock you upside your head, right? So the question is, have you suited up? Have you suited up? I believe that these are the 3 stages of a superhero and your purpose. Okay, so step 1, they heard the call. They heard the call, which is the greatest call ever, right? This is all a part of this Hear, Be, and Do series, right? The first part is hearing. When you hear the call, right, they realize that their gift, their skill, and their talent, aka their purpose, right, they realized it. But you know what? Knowing it's not good enough, sis. Like, knowing your call, knowing your purpose is not good enough. Like, God is no respecter of persons, meaning that God doesn't see you as blessed and highly favored just because you have a gift. Because you know what? All of his kids have gifts. He has embedded seeds of greatness in all of us, right? Some of us just don't know it yet. And that's the purpose of this whole episode, this whole podcast. But let me continue going forward. He doesn't care that you know it. God cares that you grow it. Okay. Step 2 is that they became it. They clung to it. They preserved it, and they went into the secret place in order to become it. And you know what that is? That's prayer. That's meditation. That's when the calling literally gets embedded in your heart, right? So the third thing that the superhero does, right? They stepped out. This is the part when you not when you hear, not when you be, but this is the part when you can do. This is the part where you can just do it. This is when they stepped into their purpose. But let me be clear. The only time that you should go ye, like stepping into, I'm doing this, I'm going to do it, is when God says it. In Matthew 28, verse 19, the Bible says this. It says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost." So go ye is, it's not the same when your boss says it. It's not the same when your family pressures you into it, okay? It's not the same when society tells you keep grinding, keep pushing, keep hustling without direction, right? So if a man here on earth tells you to go ye and you go, "Hey, yeehaw, boss," you might be walking straight into bondage, or you might be walking back into Egypt. You might as well consider yourself a modern day slave, right? The point in all that is let God give you marching orders. Next part I want to dive into is what's your suit? So every superhero has a suit, and that suit actually represents your identity. That suit, it represents your preparation. That suit represents your authority. In 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3 through 4, it says this: "Your adornment must not merely be external." Talking about the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing that you wear, but let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious. Your suit is literally your mindset. Your suit is literally your spiritual discipline. Your suit is your preparation. Like, you cannot step into greatness wearing the clothes of fear. Imagine that. You cannot step into your greatness wearing the clothes of doubt. You cannot step into your greatness wearing a defeated mind. Yeah, a defeated mind is literally a mask. You're wearing it. That's not what God gave you, okay? And oh, this is one of my favorite scriptures that my cousin Neil actually pointed out to me one day, and it just never left. And it's from Numbers chapter 13, verse 33, and this is the King James Version, where it says this. This is how I read it. "And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight." And he's saying that because we saw ourselves, we saw them as giants, we saw ourselves as grasshoppers. And because we saw ourselves as grasshoppers, so did they. Okay? So before you jump out there, right? Have you put on your suit? Have you spent time in the secret place? The phone booth of your life, literally before you step out into the battlefield. The world is waiting on you to suit up. Imagine Spider-Man watching a crime, right? He just watching it happen, saying, "Man, I'm too tired today. Today was one of them days." What? You would be like, "I paid all this money for this movie, or I came all the way out here to see you do what you said that you were able and capable of doing, and you tired today." Like, right? Like, just imagine Wonder Woman saying maybe tomorrow. And that's what some of us are actually doing with our calling. We are sitting on our assignment because we don't feel ready. But let me tell you something. Your calling does not wait on your comfort. Your bed does. And that's a quote by B. Moore. Okay? Esther didn't feel ready, but she stepped up. Moses didn't feel equipped, but God still called him. So, what's the thing that you know that you're supposed to be doing, but you keep waiting for the quote unquote perfect time? Think God cares about time? Controls it. It's just you, So, the next thing I wanted to roll into was just do it versus being prepared to do it. So, let's go back to Bob being on the rooftop screaming, I believe I can fly. That don't make you Superman, man. Too many people try to just do it without preparing. Too many people try to just do it without actually developing their gifts. Too many people try to do it without getting their mindset right. Like, get your mind right, Greg, Well, not in that way, but you know what I mean, right? So, and to each his own. But faith without works is dead. Just because you talk about the Bible, just because you read about the Bible, just because you claim and you say that you know God and you know his character, if that was the case, then you would know that your faith without your works, that's the most important part. Faith without works is dead. Are you doing the thing that you are claiming that you heard God tell you to do, right? Are you walking in it? You can't just declare success and expect results. You literally have to train. You have to grow, and you have to step into your calling with wisdom. And true wisdom is only given by God. That type of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on a spiritual level is completely different than what you think you read in the book, my dear. So ask yourself, am I jumping off the roof unprepared? Or am I stepping into my purpose fully suited, booted, trained, and ready to go? Okay? Next thing I want to roll into is that the hero in you is already there. The superhero was already inside of them. With these superheroes, it was never the suit. It was never the cape. It was never the boots. It was never just the Nike sign on the side of the shoe. It was never wearing, Michael Jordan shoes that I want to jump like Mike. Like, I want to be like Mike. Okay. Did you put in the work that Michael Jordan put in order to be Michael Jordan? Very important piece there. Like, imagine David from the Bible, right? He didn't need all the attire that Saul thought that he would need in order to fight Goliath, but it was the belief. It was the calling. It was his purpose that made him this great, amazing man. I call him Uncle David. Like, Uncle David would not have been all that Uncle David was if he did not believe, right? If he had not literally stepped into saying, I'm that guy. So God has already placed everything inside of you. And I'm going to wrap up with this. So you are not waiting on permission. I'm sorry, I keep playing around with this echo and all that. I like the echo, but I don't know if it needs to be on the whole time. Give me some feedback and let me know what y'all think. But you are not waiting on permission. Most of you guys are waiting on a decision. This week, I would recommend to go into your phone booth, put on your suit, and literally step into the purpose that God has already given you, because the world needs you. They need you suited, they need you booted, they need you bold, and they need you ready. And again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me the time to share this message. And again, welcome to the Holy Depot. Let's build.